Hey, joining us now on the MARR Rock Show, we have got Ted, who is one of the vocalists from the Swedish band that has got a brand new album out there called Grimner. Ted, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And now, the first thing I want to ask you about, so this is your sophomore full-length album, and you switched to doing the album in Swedish. Can you talk to a little bit about that decision? And I looked up the names of the songs, so I got some done there.
Yeah, actually, we just felt that we wanted to do everything in Swedish this time around, or we have been doing that for quite some time now, I guess. But there are a lot of words that we want to use. There are old, archaic words that they don't really exist in English. It feels a little bit more authentic, you know. So, with the whole theme of the Viking stuff and so forth. So, yeah, that was really the reason for...
That probably explains why Google Translate couldn't identify a couple of them, because they're ancient words. So talk a little bit about the vibe of the album. Like your webpage describes it as Viking folk metal. Can you talk about that as a genre?
I don't know. You have a lot of death metal and black metal bands out there and stuff like that, but I don't know. There really aren't that many, Viking folk bands. But we had me and Henry, the drummer. We're the only original members left in the band, and we had a band before this, which I won't mention by name, but we played more like melodic death metal. But I've always felt drawn to the folk genre, so I started writing songs which became more and more folky and had that kind of influence, and a lot of the members in the band didn't like it, so we eventually split up, and and then we started Grimner after that. So
now you, because of the nature of being Viking folk metal, you've got the presence of a flute and some other unusual instruments. How did you go about recruiting someone to play flute in a metal band?
I don't know, really. We had just a crazy idea. We had that would sound good to have, because first, I think the first demo or something that we did with Grimner a long way back, we had some flute lines and stuff that we recorded on keyboard, and that didn't sound very good. So we felt like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. So who do we know that plays flute? And one evening at my place, we were sitting having a couple of beers and talking, and Johan, who is now playing the flutes and bagpipes and mandola and other stuff. He knows everything, apparently. He came over, and that was, I think, the second time I met him or something. And we just, we're gonna try out playing something like this. And I showed him some songs, and he said, this could be cool. So we tried it out a few times, and then we just decided to keep him because we thought it sounded cool.
So if I translate it correctly, the album translates into Frost Against Fire. Is that fair enough?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the story. Is it a concept album, or is it just the spirit of a battle?
It is, I guess you could say, a loose concept album. It's not an entire, story from the first to the last song, but not in the classical sense, I guess. But it is about the classic story, Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology. But we added a few things with our own twist on the story. So the Frost Against Fire part is that the lands of humans will eventually be covered by ice and snow because of the Fimble winter, the 3-year-long winter that comes before the end of the world, and the fire is representing the fire giants who march upon Midgard, or the world of men, and this album is leading up to to the final battle. So that's really the whole story, and it's so we tell a little about the preparations and everything.
So I think my favorite song on there, I'm going to try to say it, but I'm probably going to butcher it. It's Res Ir Mina Sone. Is that, how, am I close, even close? No.
Kind of.
No. You're being very polite. You're very polite, but tell me about that song.
That's as it is the first song. It tells of both the side of the fire giants and the Fire Lord, Surt, and Odin and his sons. It tells of before time began, and when. So how can I say? When they both prepare for the battle of the last battle of Ragnarok, and that's pretty much it. I guess it just it tells of them preparing and their hate towards one another. Odin and Surt, that is.
So I was looking on your Facebook page about the prospect of getting out on tour. Can you talk about, do you have any dates set up, or what's the prospect for touring?
We haven't announced anything yet, but we have a few shows coming up and a small tour. I guess I can say that now. I don't know if I'm doing myself or something. But we have a few shows coming up in some European countries. None in the US, unfortunately. But we have a few that I can't announce them here, but they will come up pretty soon, I think.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the Facebook page and keep an eye out for those. Now, so I've never seen your band play live. Tell me, from what I've seen in the videos, do you do the whole Viking outfit thing on stage, or are you up there in jeans and a t-shirt?
No. We don't like being, that's kind of the whole thing, I guess. We don't want to be in, jeans and t-shirt. We leave that to other bands. But we do we go the whole 9 yards with that. So there are a lot of preparations before each show, because we have to, do the war paint and stuff, and get dressed in all those clothes and so forth. So we do that.
Now, being a band from Sweden, I noticed this about bands like Avatar and you guys, and a couple of the other ones that I've had a multitude of them on the show from the record label. You guys in Sweden seem to always put that theater of a show in a show, which is one of the things I love about Swedish bands. Do you notice that, the difference between a lot of American bands and the Swedish bands yourself?
I haven't really thought about it, I guess, but I guess you could be right. I don't know.
Now, some of the other bands I've had on the show before talk about the music education system in Sweden. Were you able to do that? Or I've heard that that the school system there really values music. Is that correct?
It's very encouraging compared to many other countries, I think, because we're all, most of us in the band, we have had some level of musical education, and it's been very great for us, and everything is very encouraging, and although the whole I don't know, we can't really live off of music in the same way, and we don't get well-paying jobs and so forth, but we are still very encouraged to pursue a career in music.
So the band is Grimner. The album is Frost mot eld, which is loosely translated in my horrible translation to Frost Against Fire. Ted, tell me one more thing. Tell me a little bit about your hometown. So I see you're in the south of Sweden. Is it freezing cold there right now, or what's the weather like?
No, it's I guess spring weather. Oddly enough.
Now tell me about your town. Are you in a rural area? Or are you in a big city? What is the area you're from like, and what's the music scene like there?
We have basically no music scene here. I guess we're the pride of our hometown, if I get to brag, musically. But yeah, it's a small town, I guess, 50,000 people overall, 45 maybe. But historically, it's a very important city because we had a lot of excavations and many Viking relics have been found here and so forth. I've had many people asking me if that's where the interest for that time period comes from, but that was just a coincidence, I
think. Well, this has been Ted from the Swedish band Grimner. Their album Frost Against Fire is out. There's a lyric video out there on your webpage. And hey, Ted, thanks so much for being here on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much, too.